Lucy Tilney missed her flight, and she's mad as a hornet. Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone, I'm Mark. The name of this channel is Mark's Travel Time, but you know what time it really is? It's Joe time. And Joe time is that time when you get to pour yourself your favorite beverage and sit across the table from me and we'll have a discussion. Today we are going to talk about missed flights, the frustrating kind when you're there in the airport and you still miss your flight. And this story comes from many sources. It seems like it was peppered throughout the UK media. I don't know what's so interesting about a woman missing a flight. This happens all the time, hundreds of times every single day. But let's look at this story because I think there's a lot to be learned from it. Now, if you're new to the channel, please click my face down there in the corner to subscribe and ring that bell icon up above. That way you'll know when I post new videos. So the headline reads, Woman's anger at EasyJet after missing airport flight while having coffee. That's right, you heard it. She was drinking coffee and missed her flight. A passenger who missed an EasyJet flight claims the budget airline did not give her enough time to get to the correct gate. Lucy Tilney, 57. Let's stop right there. By the time you're 57 years old, you need to have a little awareness. You should be a little worldly and realize, hey, I've got to step up to the plate and take a little responsibility. Airlines make mistakes. In this case, I think as you'll find out, maybe there's enough blame to go around to just about everybody, including Lucy. Miss Tilney and a friend were due to fly from Bristol Airport to Venice Marco Polo Airport. They were drinking coffee at the Eat Cafe. What a clever name. In the waiting area, looking forward to their holiday, when they saw a gate closed message on the notice board. I can tell you, I've been there. There's nothing as frustrating when it comes to air travel as seeing that gate closed, and especially when you just miss it in the nick of time. If you've watched this channel, you've heard a few of my stories where I've had that done. But this one's a little different because I'm not sure I'm going to put all the blame on the airline. EasyJet knew we were in the airport as they loaded our bags onto the aircraft, so I failed to understand why they were not able to issue a call warning us we would miss our flight. I don't think that that's unreasonable. Oftentimes, I'm in the airport and I will hear many calls. Get to your gate. Gate will be closing. Doors close in 2 minutes. Sometimes they even call the passenger by name. But here's the rub. I don't know if the airline made that call or not. But number one, I'm also not sure if the expectation should be on the airline for us to be at our gate on time. And number two, they said here that they were not at the gate area. I'm not even sure they were in the terminal. I'm not sure where the Eat Cafe is. But later in the story, it says here they were in the Central Hall, which is a 10 to 15 minute walk. So if they're that far away, I'm not sure if they would have even heard the call. So I'm going to give that point to the airline. I wonder if it suits EasyJet to take the money for the flights and luggage but not have the weight of those passengers and their luggage. My ex was a pilot, so I know the greater your load, the greater the cost. So what she's suggesting here is they did it intentionally. They loaded her bag on, but they didn't want her on. They didn't want all that excess weight of her and her companion on that plane. Okay, that is really reaching for straws. I don't think airlines intentionally book people on their flight and then hope they don't show up just so they can have a lighter flight. Again, that check goes into the airline column. We look for the gate number on the screen. The screen informed us that the gate number would be displayed later. We decided to get a coffee and wait in the main area upstairs. We drank our coffee, and every so often I check the screen to see the same message, gate number to be shown shortly. Okay, now here is something we have to learn as travelers. That can be frustrating. When you check your bags, ask if there's a gate number. They may say the flight's not yet assigned. I do a couple of things. Number one, I have the app. I have the app loaded and I have push notifications enabled. That way, in the case of gate changes or when the gate's not known yet, as soon as it comes up, I get that push notification. I get that ding. I can look at my phone and see, oh, here's my gate. I have had many times where I'm waiting in one terminal and I look and, oh my goodness, My gate is in a completely different terminal. I have to hustle and hightail it over there. But that is a great way to avoid having things like this happen. Another thing you can do is don't rely just on the airline app. I use one called Flight Track. There's a lot of apps out there. Flight Track will notify me in the case of gate changes, and it'll tell me where the gate is. In addition to that, I do not wander away from the gate area. Now, it can be argued here she didn't know the gate area, but she was in the central hall. So I would not be in a central hall. If I'm going to sit down and have a cup of coffee, I'm going to grab that coffee and at least sit in a gate area that is near my airline. So this one, I'm going to call it 60-40 in favor of the airline. I think there are some things a passenger can do and expectations we should have on ourselves and be responsible for not missing our own flight. She says she and her friend waited there for more than half an hour and finished their coffee, checking occasionally. We were sitting and talking and doing our finances and all that stuff. Next time we looked at the screen, the display showed gate closed. As it starts to get close to boarding, you should start to have heightened awareness. Generally, airlines expect you to be at the gate area about a half hour before flight time. That's not always when they start boarding, but it's when they start announcing, we'll be boarding in 5 minutes, we'll be boarding very shortly, and there's a lot of different boarding groups that are called. What I'm taking away from this story, a whole plane full of people made it there. So there must have been some notifications. Don't wander too far away from where you anticipate your flight is going to depart. She said, we went to the help desk, or rather the unhelp desk, and we were treated very unsympathetically by the young lady at the desk. She looked at her screen and casually commented the gate number was displayed at 12:45. Perhaps she assumed we were drunk and had been drinking. I don't know. That might explain the offhand way she spoke. I'm feeling a little frustration and bitterness in that comment. Perhaps there was not a lot of empathy in the gate agent's voice and demeanor. I don't know. But don't make assumptions like they thought we were drunk. If you go there for information, they tell you the information. It's a two-way street. If we expect to be treated well, we should treat the gate agent well. Ms. Tilney believes the employee said the gate was displayed at 12:45 exposes a fault on the part of the airline. Since the gates closed 30 minutes before departure, that means the gate was closed at 12:55, meaning only 10 minutes later. So she's saying they only had 10 minutes. Well, they chose to sit at a cafe 10 minutes away. EasyJet said it was displayed at 12:45 and gates closed at 1:06. That's still only 21 minutes. The next thing they say is we ask everyone to be at the gate at least 30 minutes prior to the scheduled departure. All right, I have to get this one to the passenger. They're saying be at the gate 30 minutes prior, but by their own reckoning, they made the announcement at 12:45 where the gate was. They're displayed it on the sign, and doors closed at 1:06. So there's only 21 minutes. You can't get to a gate a half hour early if you're not telling your passengers at least a half hour early where that gate's going to be. So, what should we take away from this? Well, what we should take away from this, number one, a little bit of self-responsibility. And number two, if it is the fault of the airline, don't rely on the airline 100%. Rely on yourself. As I said, have the apps. Don't wander too far away from the expected gate area. If I don't know the exact gate, I'm still staying in the terminal of that airline. I don't want to go to some central hall that I know she said signs were displayed, and in the story I didn't read everything, but security told her it's a 15-minute walk to the gate. I'm not going to stay that far away. So there are things we can do. It's very unfortunate that this happened and that people miss flights. I know what it feels like. I've gotten to gates 10 minutes before departure. Doors were closed. It's frustrating, but let's plan for it. Plan for these situations. Use the app. Don't wander away. Don't rely on one source like a sign. If a whole plane full of people got there, they must have been notified in time. So don't lay back and rest on your laurels. Be ready for unexpected things to happen when you're traveling. What do you think? What is the responsibility of the airline and what is the responsibility of the traveler? I would love to hear your comments down below. Also, please give me the thumbs up. As I said before, if you're not yet subscribed, click my face down there in the corner and ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Mark, and this is Mark's Travel Time.